everyone, in this video we will cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series in GK Today's Academy Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in Academy Android application. So in this app course you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document and also category wise revision ebooks which are optimized for reading on your mobile itself. Apart from it, you are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. Please check our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com. Okay. So now without wasting any further time, let's get started.
Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 14th of October 2021. Starting with very first question. When is the Indian Air Force Day celebrated every year? So every year on 8th of October, the country celebrates Indian Air Force Day, and this year we celebrated 89th anniversary of this particular day. So basically this day commemorates the establishment of Indian Air Force on the same day in the year 1932. And the first operational squadron was established in April month in the year 1933. Also the day aims to increase awareness about the Indian Air Force. In Hindi we call it as Bharatiya Vayu Sena. Now apart from it, the International Cotton Advisory Committee and World Trade Organization established the World Cotton Day, which is celebrated on 7th of October since 2019. And this year theme was There is more to cotton than you think. And the purpose of this day is to maximize the importance of cotton. Also, it emphasizes the problems faced by the world's cotton economies. So this inaugural World Cotton Day was held in Geneva in the year 2019. Okay. Now apart from it, every year 5th of October is celebrated as World Teachers Day by UNESCO. And this was introduced in the year 1994 to recognize the teachers' contribution to shape the world. And the theme for this year was Teachers at the Heart of Education Recovery. So basically this theme stresses the support which teachers require to make educational recovery from COVID-19 disruptions. Okay. Then we observe National Voluntary Blood Donation Day on 1st of October. And the aim is to raise awareness about the blood donation and promote voluntary blood donation in the country. Theme for this year was Give Blood and Keep the World Beating. Okay. Question number 2. After RBI's October Monetary Policy Committee meeting, what is the repo rate? So the MPC committee of RBI has kept the key lending rate, that is repo rate, unchanged at 4% for the 8th time in a row. And reverse repo rate remained unchanged at 3.5%. So the policy stance has also kept unchanged at accommodative, and this stance is voted for as long as necessary to sustain growth on a durable basis while ensuring that inflation remains within the target. Okay. So RBI also retained financial year 2022 GDP growth forecast at 9.5%. Fine. Now apart from it, few days back we have seen that RBI has removed Indian Overseas Bank from its PCA framework, means Prompt Corrective Action Framework. So this bank was actually placed in the year 2015 in this category, but now bank does not meet the criteria of PCA, hence it has been removed. Okay. Then apart from it, RBI has recently released deposits with scheduled commercial banks March 2021 data. And as per this, bank deposits have increased by 11.9% during the financial year 2020-21 as compared to 8.8% in the year 2019 to 2020. and deposits have increased in light of high growth in current account, saving account deposits. Okay. Also earlier we have seen that right now external debt is to GDP ratio is 21.1%. And the total forex reserve of India has sharply risen to $633 billion as of August 2021. And this is primarily on account of additional 12.57 billion SDR allocation by IMF to India, which is equal to nearly $17.86 billion. Okay. Question number 3. Which Central Armed Police Force of India secures the Nepal and Bhutan borders? So this is Sashastra Seema Bal, and the border forces of India and Nepal is set to conduct the regular joint patrolling along the border to control trans-border crimes, smuggling of arms, human trafficking, and other areas of concern. So the 5th annual coordination meeting between SSB and Armed Police Force Nepal was concluded recently, and a help desk established by APF and the SSB at transit points of the border would continue to facilitate the movement of citizens. Okay. Now apart from it, India and UK have recently conducted a 2-week military exercise named as Ajay Warrior at Chaubatia in the state of Uttarakhand. So basically it aims to strengthen bilateral defense cooperation between the two countries, and as per the Indian Army, the addition of Ajay Warrior exercise is part of an initiative to develop interoperability and sharing of expertise. Okay. Then apart from it, India is also set to host its largest naval exercise named as Exercise Milan in the next year. So India has invited 46 countries to take part in this particular naval exercise. So the exercise will see the participation of all Quad countries, in which US has been invited for the very first time. And this Milan exercise began in 1995. It is a kind of biannual exercise and brings together navies of all the countries in the region. And so far it was held at Port Blair, but now it is being shifted to Visakhapatnam. You have to tell me, Mitra Shakti is the exercise between which two countries? Please write in the comments. Question number 4. Valli Lath Madhatil Madhavan Nair, who passed away recently, is associated with which profession? So first of all, he is the oldest living former diplomat of India who passed away at the age of 102 years. So basically he joined the Indian Civil Service in the year 1942 and was allotted to the Bihar cadre. Also he was permanently recruited to the Indian Foreign Service later, and he had served in various important positions in the External Affairs Department and in charge of Commonwealth relations. So basically he retired from IFS in the late 1970s and now he has been passed away. Okay, so he is a bureaucrat. Now apart from him, let's talk about some of the important recent appointments. First of all, KV Subramanian has recently resigned as Chief Economic Advisor. Then E.R. Sheikh has become the first Director General of Ordnance Directorate. Then Sanjay Bhargav is to head the Starlink satellite broadband venture in India. Then there is Alok Sahai. He has been appointed as Secretary General of Indian Steel Association. And one last, Mr. Amish Mehta has been appointed as new MD and CEO of CRISIL. You have to tell me what does this acronym stands for. Please write in the comments. Now I am giving you one more homework. Everyone knows Mr. Rajneesh Kumar, and you have to tell me 3 things important about him. It can be 3 appointments or 3 positions that he held in the past, anything related to him. Okay. Question number 5. where is the US-India Business Council Summit held recently? So this summit was held recently in New Delhi, and India along with USA held the bilateral talks during the visit of Deputy Secretary of State Wendy R. Sherman to Delhi. So they discussed India-US 2+2 ministerial meeting, which is likely to be held in the month of November. And the officials also discussed on S-400 air defense system that India is buying from Russia. Can you tell me, Romeo helicopters have been bought by India from which country? Please write your answers in the comment section. Now talking about Delhi, recently government of Delhi has approved the proposal for issuing unique health card to each and every citizen under Delhi's HIMS project, means Health Information Management System project. Then apart from it, Delhi-based environment organization LIFE has received the 2021 Right Livelihood Award. And what is LIFE stands for? It is Legal Initiative for Forest and Environment. So this is a kind of organization that empowers vulnerable communities to protect their livelihoods and claim their right for a clean environment. So this award is known as Sweden's Alternative Nobel Prize. Okay. Now can you tell me, recently who has been elected to the World Archery Athletes Committee? Can you name that particular archer? Please write your answers. Question number 6. Which Indian topped the Forbes rich list for the 14th year in a row? So this is Mukesh Ambani, who is the chairman of Reliance Industries, and he has topped this rich list for the 14th year in a row as per Forbes rich list with a total wealth of $92 billion. So he has added $4 billion to his net worth in the year 2021. And Gautam Adani, with a wealth of $74.8 billion, is the second richest in India, with only $17.9 billion short of Ambani. And the Shiv Nadar of HCL was number 3 in the list with a total wealth of $31 billion. And the 4th position was occupied by Radhakrishnan Damani, who is the founder of Avenues Supermart. And 5th position was occupied by Cyrus Poonawalla. Okay. Now apart from it, the country Venezuela is set to launch a new currency that will feature 6 fewer zeros, as the country is facing world's worst inflation and economic crisis for some years. So the highest denomination of Venezuelan Bolivar had previously a 1 million Bolivar note that will now become a 1 Bolivar note. So hereafter the highest denomination for the new currency will be 100 Bolivar, worth little less than $25. Also, RBI has mandated all the banks to make AFA by way of OTP for all the recurring and repetitive payments of value 5,000 rupees and above, especially for the ones made through debit and credit cards. So this has come into effect from 1st of October 2021. Also, RBI has mandated that customers are notified about the scheduled payment 24 hours in advance by the bank. Okay. What is AFA? It is additional factor authentication. Fine. Question number 7. Which Indian state or union territory has launched the State Capability Forum? So Meghalaya has recently launched this particular forum, and it is initiated under the ongoing SCEP, means the State Capability Enhancement Project. So this forum will include bi-monthly events attended by public officials, academicians and civil society members, and each event will focus on a theme of importance for Meghalaya's development. Now apart from it, Manipur has recently organized the UNESCO recognized festival of dance and music named as Nata Sankirtan. So artists from different organizations and many eminent personalities attended this occasion, and this event was introduced during the reign of Bhagya Chandra and recognized as an intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO in the year 2013 for its uniqueness. Then apart from it, CLAP, that is Clean Andhra Pradesh, is an initiative of Andhra Pradesh government and launched by the Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy on 2nd of October, that is on Gandhi Jayanti. So it aims to make the state clean with public participation, and under this more than 4,000 garbage collecting vehicles will be deployed across 13 districts in the state. Also, state government will distribute 3 color coded dustbins, red, green and blue, to all the 40 lakh households, and people ought to use them for waste disposal after segregating the waste. Okay. Now question number 8, Judima, which got GI tag recently, is the homemade wine of which state? So this is a homemade rice wine of Dimasa tribe from the Dimasa Hasao district of Assam, and it is a local fermented drink made with rice in a pale yellow or reddish color and a mellow fragrance. So basically it is made from 3 different types of rice: red, or you can say white bora, then non-bora and the bearing rice, and the drink is an important part of their tradition. Okay. Now in the previous lecture we have seen that the Indian dish Mihi Dana, which is a GI tagged product of West Bengal, is in news because first consignment of Mihi Dana has been exported to the country Bahrain. And earlier we have seen that the GI certified Madurai jasmine has been exported to the countries US and UAE from Tamil Nadu. Then one more GI certified product, Bhalia variety of wheat, has been exported to the countries Kenya and Sri Lanka from the state of Gujarat. Now apart from all these things, a business summit on National Mission on Edible Oil, that is oil palm, for Northeast was recently held at Guwahati, Assam. And it is a central sponsored scheme which aims to add 6.5 lakh hectares for palm oil by the year 2025 to 2026. Question number 9. Which ratings agency has changed India's sovereign rating outlook from negative to stable? So the global ratings agency Moody's has recently changed India's sovereign rating outlook from negative to stable, and it highlighted that India's downside risk from negative feedback between real economy and financial system are disappearing now. Now apart from it, few days back we have seen that OECD, means Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, the headquarters of which lies in Paris, has released the India's economic projections for financial year 2021 to 2022, which has been estimated at 9.7%, which is 0.2% less than its earlier forecast. And China's economy is expected to grow by 8.5% in the year 2021. Then apart from it, UNCTD, means United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, has projected the India's growth rate to hit a 4-year high of 7.2% for the financial year 2021. And at this rate, India would be the fastest growing economy after the country China, because it is expected to grow by 8.3%. Also, ADB, that is Asian Development Bank, has decreased its forecast for India's GDP growth to 10% in 2021 to 22 from earlier projection of 11%. So this was done as the downside risk were dominating the economic outlook, okay, according to the ADB. Coming to last question, Lakhimpur, which was seen often in the news, is located in which Indian state? So this is a city in the state of Uttar Pradesh, and it was in the news because of 3rd October Lakhimpur Kheri violence, in which 9 persons lost their lives. So the Uttar Pradesh government has deputed Pradeep Kumar Srivastav, who is a retired judge of Allahabad High Court, to probe the Lakhimpur Kheri violence, and the Judicial Commission will have its office in Lakhimpur Kheri and would submit its report within 2 months. Now apart from it, UP government has named actor Kangana Ranaut as the brand ambassador of its ambitious One District, One Product program. So UP government has launched this program with the aim to create product-specific traditional industrial hubs to across 75 districts of the state, and it aims to reap the benefits of scale in terms of procurement of inputs, availing common services, etc. Also, it aims to improve the employment opportunities. Then apart from it, our Union Minister of Information and Broadcasting, who is Anurag Thakur, has launched the Clean India program from the Motilal Nehru Institute of Technology, Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh. And the aim is to create awareness, encourage people and make them involved in cleaning the waste. And this campaign will continue till 31st of October. Okay. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions. And at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Meenu Satsana signing off.